Absolute value inequalities. Solve and graph the following inequality. And you are given 2 times the absolute value of x minus 3 is greater than 14. Here are some steps to help you solve this equation. First off, isolate the absolute value expression on one side of the inequality. And x minus 3 in the absolute value sign, that's your absolute value expression. You're going to want to use inverse operations to isolate this absolute value expression. Because it's multiplied by 2, you're going to use the inverse operation, which is to divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. Divide by 2 to the left side of the equation, and divide the right side of the equation by 2. 2 divided by 2 cancels out. And you are left with absolute value of x minus 3 is greater than 7. And take a look. The absolute value expression is isolated. Also, the absolute value expression is greater than a constant. So we will be looking at an OR type statement. Let's check off the first one and move on to the second step, which is create 2 inequalities, one positive with the same sign and one negative with the reverse sign. So let's get to that. Create our first equation. X minus 3 is greater than positive 7. Notice this one is positive and the same sign. And then we'll create our second one, which is x minus 3 is less than negative 7. And if you take a look, it's negative and the sign is reversed. Let's just focus in on that sign and you see that it's reversed. So now we can check off step number 2. Let's move on to step number 3, which is solve both inequalities and graph. So for example here, we want to solve the first inequality. So we'll add 3 to both sides of the equation. Negative 3 and positive 3 will cancel each other out. And you're left with x is greater than 10. The other side of the equation, you're going to add 3 to both sides as well. Positive 3 and negative 3 cancel each other out. And then you're left with x is less than negative 4. And don't forget, we have to graph this inequality. So I'm going to draw a graph below. And just a heads up, open circle for less than or greater than, and close circles for less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. Now, let's look at what we have. We have x is greater than 10. So what we're going to do is read from the x. So x is larger than 10. Let's mark a 10 on the number line. There it is. This is an open circle. And greater than will go towards the right direction. And we also have x is less than negative 4. So let's plot negative 4 on the number line. There you have negative 4. We'll place our circle. Less than goes in the left direction. We'll check off step number 3. And we're done.